up. He races there and taking a spot.
They got a lot of stuff to say about the car. They know what's coming.
Everybody behind me is a big block.
He might be on a one-way trip out of there.
Big old wheel stand. Pontiac taking the win lane.
RVA list night here at Richmond Dragway as we get ready for the Super Street Shootout. These guys have made the cruise from the Performance Dynamics shop out here to the racetrack, and we're getting ready to shootout race to see who's going to challenge for the number 10 spot on the Super Street list. The Farmer Machine Caddy coming up. It's John Hampton out of Mechanicsville, Virginia, one of the original list racers, taking on Chevy Corvette. Travis Reed launching off on the Protect side of the racetrack. Looks like Hampton moving first, and Hampton CTSV marching out and in control on the George Mason Mortgage side. It's going to be John Hampton for the win, taking the round. Jennifer Martin Sharkbait coming up, taking on Chris Heath in the Toyota pickup here. An unusual battle is Sharkbait, the little V6 Chevy Camaro, taking on the Toyota pickup. Who would have thought it? Here for the Super Street list. This is a challenge. Trying to get into that number 10 spot. So these guys have a little runoff before we go number 10 racing. The Instant Green Tree coming up here. Jennifer Martin and Heath lead the starting line together, and Heath going to be well in control. Martin looks like she immediately almost runs into problems over there, and Heath takes the win on the Protect side of the racetrack.
Heath runs 11:16, 90 miles an hour.
Tyler Smith goes unopposed in round number 1 of the shootout. Smith lights the hides on his Camaro, brings it up, stages it up, and launches it off, coming back for the next round of the shootout here. A nice clean pass for Smith down the Protect side of the racetrack, says I'm ready for round number 2 of the shootout. So round number 1 of the Super Street Shootout, Sharkbait, Jennifer Martin getting knocked off the list, as does Travis Reed in the Corvette. So round number 2 will come up with John Hampton on the bye run and Smith and Heath challenging off. Picture perfect skies and a beautiful night for Get Fast 1 RVA list racing at Richmond Dragway as we get ready for the Ultimate Street Shootout. So here we go, a challenge for the number 1 spot on the Get Fast 1 Super Street list. Patrick Depew, the Chevy Camaro here, taking on Jimmy B. B over there in the Fairmont. This is going to be a great run for the number 1 spot on the Super Street list. B bumps in, here comes Depu's Camaro, and they're off. B moving first, B in control. And looks like B says no number 1 for you, my friend, as he holds on to his position as the king of the Super Street list. Adam Dean bringing up the Pontiac. Zach Reed, the Roush Mustang. General Motors and Ford battle pull up here on the Thornton Motorsports starting line. Looks like Reed jumps. Here comes Dean chasing. Hot pursuit, says the Pontiac over there on the George Mason side of the racetrack. As Adam Dean clicks through 969 for the win light. Joey Buck and Matt Sangpeel, a battle of the Chevy Camaros coming up. Super Street list, remember these guys have made the drive from Performance Dynamics Shop. No cool off for their cars, they start racing them as Sangpeel leaves. Joey Buck is in chase mode and will not have enough. Sangpeel, 991 to a 1023, taking the win light. So Keith Breslin got a single with his Chevrolet Corvette. He was supposed to take on Brian Allen. Allen does not make the call here in round number 1 of the Super Street list racing. It's a Breslin taking the position as he cruises down the Pertec side of the racetrack. So we've been showing the times for the quarter mile Super Street list. We'll switch gears now and go to the Ultimate Street list. These guys run on an 8th mile finish line. No times are shown, no time slips are handed out. They don't even know what they've run as Brandon Terry and Don Huckstep come up. A couple of wheel standers. They're watching this time. Terry does give you a little wheel stand as his C10 pickup moves out on the Performance Dynamics Get Fast 1 driver taking the win light on the Pertec side. Here's Purple Rain, Gene Motley coming up. Motley rolls up, taking on Pete Decker. Decker in the AED Performance House Camaro over there on the George Mason Mortgage side. A great challenge spot here for a couple of Chevy Camaros on the Ultimate Street list. Remember, instant green start. Watch for that green light to drop. As soon as it does, these drivers will launch off and head out to the top end of the racetrack. Decker gives it a nice wheels up launch, heads out to the top end, and looks like Decker holds off Purple Rain. No raining tonight, baby. Chuck Otter's coming up. Otter's got his work cut out for him as he's going to be challenged by Boostzilla. That's right, Charles Forrest over there on the George Mason Mortgage side. Chuck Otter's here on the Pertec lane. A couple of Chevrolet Camaros. And that might be one of the most feared cars on the property right now, that Boostzilla car, with Charles Forrest has been gone through all winter and now is ready to assault the Ultimate Street list. Both of them leaving right together, but it is Boostzilla turning it on the George Mason side and taking the position.
So last time I ran Huckstep, I hazed the tires a little bit, had to short shifted and came up short. I had to let out of it because he was just running away from it. So this time we got the hooking problem straight. It took off, it launched pretty good, and I hit the second kit just to make sure he didn't get around me. And I never saw him the whole path. I'm not sure how close he was or what, but I outran him, so that's all that matters. Moving on, we got Radliff next round. Going for number 3.
The car did not, I got an automatic shift in the car and it did not pull third gear. By the time I reached over to pull third gear, it got on the chip and started breaking up. Other than that, I think I could have reeled him in.
I think we left together in a really close race. And I think in third gear, I just started to pull on him just a little bit and ended up winning. So it was a good run. It was really close.
First win, moving up the list. Felt great. The car worked as advertised. Burnout was good. 60-foot was excellent. So no spitting, no popping, no cutting off. A to B.
What position that make you now?
Number 9. Looking for number 8. Where is it, Gene?
So we start the transition from day to night as the list race heats up here on a Friday night at Richmond Dragway. Track cooling down. It'll be coming around even harder here as we get ready to go the next round of Ultimate Street and Super Street list racing on a Get Fast 1 Friday night here at Richmond Dragway. So this is supposed to be the semifinals of the shootout. Tyler Smith going to get a competition single here. Heath's pickup broke after that last round, so he'll come back in the finals to take on John Hampton, the Caddy CTSV. Hampton launches off. Both of them needed that little freebie, but they'll be back in full force for the finals of the Super Street Shootout. This is a call out for the number 2 position. Matt Sangpeel and Patrick Depew. A couple of Chevy Camaros that have been hard charging all night. And Depew trying to hold on to number 2. Sangpeel trying to force his way in. Looks like Depew having trouble there. Sangpeel will get a freebie and take the win. Keith Breslin's Chevy Corvette coming up against Joey Buck in the Chevy Camaro. Both drivers staged up an instant green start. They head out to the top end. Joey moving first, but Breslin turns on that hard-charging vet and thunders by for the win light on the Pertec side, 11-11. Adam Dean going to shake down his Pontiac, make sure he's all set for the next round of call-outs. Remember, these guys have not gotten a ton of track time tonight. They made that drive for the Performance Dynamics shop, so he wants to make sure I'm ready for the next round of call-outs on the Super Street list. Quick shakedown run for his Pontiac over there on the George Mason Mortgage side. The instant green start, and the Pontiac thunders away. The Thornton Motorsports starting line, making a nice clean run. Jared Provost, Chad Glenn, Ben Chick, and Mark Coonley all coming back for a semifinal round of the Get Fast 1 Ultimate Street List. Ultimate Street List Challenge positions here coming up. The big tow truck coming up on the Pertec side of the racetrack. This is Brandon Terry lining up with Mike Ratliff. The Ford Falcon, been a mainstay on Ultimate Street List, and Terry trying to challenge his way up the list. The C10 pickup and the Ford Falcon. This is going to be a great run here for a couple of awesome competitors on the Ultimate Street List. The Falcon moving, lights the tires, so does Terry. They both run into trouble. Top end, the win light goes, and Terry. Purple Rain, Gene Motley coming up. The Chevy Camaro thundering through on the Pertec side of the racetrack, and Boostzilla. That's Charles Forrest over there on the George Mason Mortgage lane. Forrest had been at the bottom of the list, and now he's starting to work his way up. He'll come up in a challenge position against Gene Motley. Both drivers getting set on the starting line. Motley's in, the tree drops. Lucilla off to the races. Motley in chase position, but does not have enough for Forrest. Forrest taking the position. Pete Decker, the Chevy Camaro. Gonna line up here with Don Huckstep in the Ford Mustang. Huckstep been one of these guys who's been toting the tires tonight. We'll see if his Mustang can knock out the Chevy Camaro of Decker. These guys have had great positions on the Ultimate Street list. Now both of them fighting to stay relevant on the Ultimate Street list. Almost a perfect reaction time, and Decker marches away on the George Mason side of the racetrack. Pete Decker holding on. Lots of work going on for Ben Chick. His Josh Tonsky-tuned Mustang getting ready for the next round of the Ultimate Street Shootout, trying to challenge his way onto the top 10 list for Virginia's fastest street cars here at the Get Fast 1 RVA list night.
Bad night tonight. We run Decker, had Decker covered, and when I pulled second gear, shift light never went out, so I pulled high gear, shift light never went out again. Had a little bit of a transmission leak, a little low in fluid, thought that was it, kept my fingers crossed, but when I ran Charles Forrest, it did the same thing. We're dead in the water. Think I've blown through the converter, but we'll be back.
So the final run to decide who gets to race for the number 10 spot on the Get Fast 1 Super Street list. Got John Hampton coming up. His Cadillac CTSV for the Farmer Machine team taking on Tyler Smith. Smith in the Chevy Camaro over there on the George Mason Mortgage side. A battle of a couple of GM products here to land with the challenge chance at the number 10 spot. This is why these guys have made a drive earlier tonight, and now it's all the marbles on the line. Smith comes in, here comes Hampton, an instant green start, and they're off. Looks like Smith moving first. Smith runs into trouble just a couple hundred feet out, and John Hampton, the Farmer Machine caddy, marches out for the win line on the Protect side, and will get his chance at the number 10 spot on the Get Fast 1 RVA Super Street list. Tough way to finish the run there for Smith. Braking just past the 8th mile. The guys will go down and get him squared away. So a rematch coming up here. Sangpeel just took Patrick Depew's position. Patrick says, hey, wait a minute, man. I now challenge you back for my spot. This is a challenge spot. It has already been raced one time, but Sangpeel took it. Now Depew says, Sangpeel, it's my turn to get back where I want to be on this Super Street list. Both of them staging ever so carefully, getting ready to launch off here. Quarter-mile run for the Super Street side of the list. Sangpeel moving first, Depew trying to hold him off and charge down for the finish. Heading to the top end, it's going to be Depew scoring his way back into his spot on the Get Fast 1 Super Street list. Jared Provost coming up here, the DOT 93 racer, taking on Chad Glenn over there out of King William, Virginia. A couple of Ford Mustangs. This is your semifinals for the Ultimate Street Shootout. Chance to race for the 10 spot on the Ultimate Street list. Provost bumps in. Here comes Glenn. Provost almost immediately in trouble as Chad Glenn going to streak away and take a shot for the number 10 spot in just a little bit. But he'll have to get by one of these guys. Mark Coonley, Ben Chick. Chick in the Mustang, Coonley in the Camaro. As they head out to the top end, Ben Chick in control. Takes the win light, so Ben Chick coming back in the finals with a chance to run for the number 10 spot, but he'll have to get by Chad Glenn to do it. The mouths have been talking back in the pit area about this one as Brandon Terry bringing up the Performance Dynamics Get Fast 1 pickup. He calls it the tow truck, taking on Cotton. That's Richard Tillman over there in the Ford Mustang. They tell me this is a max bet. They have maxed out the challenge bet. All the money, all the marbles on the line here. The Mustang moving. Here comes the tow truck, but not enough. Tow truck out of steam, and Cotton holds on. So Charles Forrest has been running his way up the Get Fast 1 RVA list. He's over there on the George Mason side, taking on Don Huckstep, the Ford Mustang, here on the Pertec lane. This is a challenge for the number 7 spot. Boostzilla came into the night number 10, and he is thundering his way up the list, trying to knock out Don Huckstep here. Ford and Chevy battle on the line for the number 7 position on the Ultimate Street list. Forrest bumps into pre-stage. Here comes Huckstep. They'll both crank them up, take that 7 more inches of racetrack and wait for the instant green start. And Boostzilla marching away, taking the win line. Forrest, your new number 7. Mike Ratliff, Pete Decker coming up. The Ford Falcon and the Chevy Camaro. Another position challenge on the Ultimate Street list. Hard charger with Mike Ratliff behind the wheel. Top end, who's it going to be? Pete Decker. John Dunn making some hits out here. Nobody's called him out. He hadn't called anybody else out, but he's taking the old crusty dart for a couple of runs down the Richmond Dragway 8th mile. The Mechanicsville-based contractor bringing up the dart here. This is a former number 1 on the Get Fast 1 RVA Ultimate Street list. We'll see what he can do with this dart shaking down a run for the Dunn team. Pertec side of the racetrack.
Well, you know, me and Brandon, we wanted to max bet it for the crowd. He forgot to turn his nitrous on, I spun. So I'm 1-0 against Brandon now. The old tow truck didn't throw the chain out to me, but I think I put a little gap between him. So we'll see.
So here is your winner in the shootout, John Hampton, taking on number 10 on the Super Street list, Zach Reed. This is a challenge for the 10 spot, a challenge to get on to the Get Fast 1 RVA Super Street list. And once you're on, you can move up in a hurry if you call out guys down the list. So Reed is sitting number 10 right now. He is trying to defend his position against the hard-charging Cadillac CTSV of John Hampton. Looks like he runs into trouble right off the line. He's trying to play catch-up here now with John Hampton. Hampton's Cadillac looks to be in control all the way down the Pertec side and streaking away for the win light. John Hampton, your new number 10 racer.
I'm John Hampton, and I'm the new number 10. Well, I thought I had a real good chance. I know my car was quicker than most of those cars there. I've seen them run several times, so I felt pretty confident that I had a good shot to win it. You know, I don't want nothing against the truck, but I think I could have beat him. Yeah, I didn't see his numbers actually. I don't know what he actually was running. My car's been real consistent lately, so yeah, I felt good about most of the competition that was there that night. I felt fine. I mean, I know his car's a manual, which usually makes it a little more difficult to run a really fast number. My car, like I said, has been consistent running 10-0s. Trying to sort through a lot of problems and to have an opportunity to get back on the list, I was real excited and looking forward to maybe moving up the list again.
So we got a challenge spot coming up here for the number 1 on the Super Street list. This is Jimmy B, or at least it's his car. Gerald Driver's the driver of it over here on the Pertec side of the racetrack, the Fairmont, taking on Patrick Depew. Depew is challenging the Jimmy B Gerald Driver team for the number 1 spot on the Super Street list right here, right now. baby. Look at Depew, a wheels up launch, but that gives driver B team a chance they needed. And that's all they needed to hold on to the #1 spot on the Super Street list. Jimmy B, still your #1 after tonight. Here is your run for the finals of the shootout for the Ultimate Street list. Ben Chick's Ford Mustang, Chad Glenn his Ford Mustang. Both of them been hard charging through the shootout this afternoon. And now it's time to decide who gets a shot at number 10. Glenn comes in, he's off. Ben Chick's off right beside him as they head out to the top end. Ben Chick gonna streak away for the win light. Chick's Ford Mustang now has a shot at the number 10 spot on the Ultimate Street list. So Pete Decker and Brandon Terry coming up. Looks like one of the last runs of the night here on the Ultimate Street list. Position challenge for the top 10. Decker, he's repping for the AED Performance Shop over there on the George Mason Mortgage side, and Brandon Terry for Team Performance Dynamics. Get Fast One. This is the tow truck here on the Pertec lane. You've watched wheel stands all day. Let's see what this duo does as we finish out RVA list night here at Richmond Dragway. The tow truck taking on Decker's Camaro. These two have raced each other a ton. And look at this! Oh, baby! Terry dragging the bumper. Can he catch him? Top end? No, he can't. Decker holds position, and Brandon Terry puts on a sky show for the final run of the Get Fast One RVA list night at Richmond Dragway. So that closes out a huge day of drag racing here at Richmond Dragway for the Get Fast One RVA list. Congratulations to our shootout winners, John Hampton on the Super Street side, who did take the number 10 position, and then Ben Chick on the Ultimate Street side, who will be challenging for the number 10 position at our next RVA list Friday night coming up May the 11th. Once again, thanks for coming out. A great day of drag racing. You've seen an absolutely fabulous show capped off by huge thundering wheel stands from Brandon Terry in that tow truck, and you won't want to miss a second of the Get Fast One RVA list, the fastest street cars in Virginia, right here at Richmond Dragway.